Hi, it's Charlie and welcome to Friday's live trade video. It is 7:47 in the morning and I'm looking to trade the dollar CAD here. On a little pullback down to my little bands here and I'm going to buy it. We've got a couple of factors going on. We've had what we call a double extreme, which means that it should want to come up and make a new high. As far as targets are concerned, a bit higher up, 130.38 first target. So not too far away, but we'll trade this morning and then be looking towards non-farm payrolls, won't we? So if we pull back in the next couple of minutes or whatever here, which we will do, no doubt, I'm sure, I'll be looking to get in somewhere in this zone, stop somewhere down here, and see if we can get up to there, basically. So the overall premise is that the dollar CAD over the last several days, it's been having some indecision type candles over the last several days. Just sort of came up a bit yesterday. It's still overall a little bit choppy on the intraday charts, but it did have a positive day yesterday, and we've got a positive morning on it so far here. So there's some other factors. There's been some divergences in the background going on as well. So I'm going to use this opportunity here to see if it doesn't want to do too much of a retracement. If it does too much of a retracement, I'll get stopped out, obviously. So we'll see if we can do a cheeky trade down here into the bands and see if it can work its way up to that 130.38/9 zone this morning. See if it can do that. I'll press pause for now. Yeah. Okay, so we're just coming back here, and it's looking like I'm going to get an entry. It's going to come down to my bands, so I'm going to start to. I'll probably go in with with 4 entries here this morning. So I split my entries down into 4 increments. Just makes it easy as far as when we're trying to take profits. If it's a profitable trade, then it means that I have the option to have various exit points. So that's why I split the entries up. So I'll probably be putting 4 in this morning. It's only going to be a relatively tight stop. I'll put the stop somewhere down here about 16 or so, and we'll take it from there. So I've pressed record on recorder because I thought this was about to come down. It is. It's getting there. And then we'll edge our way in. I say edge our way in because it might on overshoot a little bit. So, but this whole zone here is what we've got the bands there, but this whole zone is a good zone. So that's what I'll be looking for. I think I'll press pause just while we're waiting here. Okay, right, back, and it's just come down to the bands. Right, that's the first unit long in. So that's the first one. Let's get the second unit in. Right, I've got 2 units long on dollar CAD here. I'm going to get my stop in a moment, but at the moment I'm just looking to see if we can get a couple more units in. Oh, right, okay, yes, we've got little late AM pivot down at 130.22. So we'll see if it can overshoot down into this zone. We've got the 5-minute 20 down here as well. So we'll see if we can shoot a little bit further down to this zone. So that's what I'll be looking for. Do you know, I could hear a noise, and it's Rachel calling down the stairs for the dog because he sat in my office with me, and he's just staring at her, probably thinking, "What are you doing?" Oh, sorry, I've just realised I'm still got the the recording going. I was talking for the people who are watching this video at some point today. I thought I was just talking to our guys in the trading room, so I'll just press pause for a moment. Okay, right, so looking like we're getting close to that, the second entries with the next 2 units. We've got just about another pip here to go. Let's see if we're going to get those entries in. So it's at 22.3. So 130.22.3 is where that level is at. So obviously it won't be exactly that on the time you've got the spread and stuff, but let's just see if it can get down there. No, whilst I'm wasting time here on the video, with it recording while I'm waiting here, It's very, very close though, so I'm keeping my eye out. And we're gonna get there. It's so close. I don't want to stop the recording because it's right on top of it. So I'll just see if we can get that entry there. Just a little bit further to get the next two entries in, basically, and then I'll be popping those stops down around about 16. Looks like it'll be. Here it is. Right, okay, so just hit. So there's one unit again and another unit. So I've got the full 4 fat units in now, and now I'll get those stops put in. So I'm going to put the stops down at 130.16. So it's all very tight, but with the type of setup that it is this morning, it doesn't require a bigger stop. Could I get stopped out and the dollar CAD still go back up yet though? Of course I could, but this is based on this smaller time frame as far as the entry is concerned here this morning, 130.16, and so and then the last one on 30.16. So it's fairly tight here this morning on that. I shall press pause for the time being and we'll see how this gets on. Okay, just back here, and we sat through that pullback. It got closer towards the stop, didn't it? It did a bit more of a retracement than I thought, but as we can now see, this dollar CAD has made new highs for the move. It did the double extreme back over here, and I said that should mean it should make a new high for the move here. So we're now at 130.32. The target is at 38. So let's now bring up a different chart. Okay, so 38 is just ahead of yesterday's high. The purple line on here, all these purple lines are, it just shows you the prior day's high and the prior day's low. So about just ahead of that, we'll bank some profit, but we might as well try and hold on to something and see if it can have a bit more of a run. We've got the luxury of having 4 units here, so, and it's not a lot of pips, unfortunately, is it? So let's have a look here. So 38, what prices do I get in at? 24 average. So it's 25s and 23s. So yeah, my average is 24. So yeah, if we can get up to there, we'll bank half or 3/4, and then we'll just see if it can have a bit more of a run with the final one. Bearing in mind it is non-farm payrolls, I don't really want to be in this trade going into that particularly. It doesn't matter. I guess I could. We'll see. If it's gone up enough, then we'll have that choice as to whether to bank the last lot or whether to hold on to that as well. But for now, we are getting closer to. We are edging closer towards that target up there around about 30. Well, it says 39 on there, but 38, 39, that sort of zone. Anyway, we'll come back and see if it can get up there, or whether it's going to take another pause or whatever. Okay, just back, and dollar CAD has just hit my targets. We put limit orders in, actually. I should have mentioned that on the video. We just put limit orders in with the guys in the trading room here. So if I just bring them up, there they are on the trading room. And we'd put limit orders in. We've just hit the limit orders, but only for 3 of them. Let me just bring a screenshot up. I'll just quickly take a screen grab of the entries. Can't show the whole account because there's so many other positions that I'm in at the moment. So here's those 4 entries from this morning. We had those the first 2 were in at 25s, and then the other 2 were down in 23s. And I just put limit orders in, one at 38, and then I put 2 in at 39. It's just hit those literally. So it's not a lot of money, I know, but we're on non-farm payroll day anyway, so it's something this morning. So I don't know what it adds up to. 80, 160, 230, maybe 300 quid, I guess, in total currently. But what we're going to do is this last one, I've not put a limit order on, because what I've said to the guys is we could just play a wait and see game and see how the last unit gets on. We've taken 3/4 off and just see if this dollar CAD can have a bit more of a run. We've got the 4-hour 50 up here. That's at 53. That would do. So just going to see if it can go that bit higher. But whatever happens now, even if it comes down, we've moved the stop up to 17 now as well, just whilst I've been chatting away with the guys. That's only a pip from where it was. Just having a quick look here. Yeah, I don't want to move the stop too aggressively, but we might be able to move it another pip or something like that. But anyway, whatever happens, we can't lose. We know it's a profit for this morning, and then we have got non-farm payrolls ahead of us later on. So for now, I'll press pause, and we'll just see what happens with this dollar CAD over the next couple of hours, I guess. And just back, and while I've been gone, we've just had the morning break between sessions, and it's now what, 11:30 or so. See, that dollar CAD has come back. It's come back far enough to get me stopped out on that last unit. So let's just show where we were at overall with the dollar CAD. So we had those 3 units taken off earlier on, and then just got stopped out earlier on this last unit. So made a whopping, what's that, 160, 170 or so far today. So but we still have non-farm payrolls to go, don't we? So it gives me a little bit of a buffer, I guess, going into non-farm payrolls. So see what we come up with later. So I'm going to carry on with the recording today because I'm around for non-farm, but I'm here with the guys in the day trading room. So we are seeing it through to non-farm payrolls. So I'll be pressing record again at some point later. Okay, just back, and it's now 10 to 1. So we can see that the euro dollar is having a nice bounce here. And I was just going through the guys in the trading room here about my tactics going into today. And I did a video yesterday talking about the fact that if my tactic would be to probably sell the euro dollar. So if the euro dollar spikes up once the news comes out later, I'm just going to be selling into that. So the trend is generally to the downside. So any short-term strength I'm going to be selling into today with regards to that. So that's my plan going into the non-farm payrolls. There's not really too much more I need to do, but that's what I'll do. Any initial spikes up or strength I'm going to be selling into. If I'm wrong and I get stopped out, I'm wrong. I'll be taking bigger risk on this because of I'll be having maybe slightly wider stops, and I'll still want to put in at least a couple of units or so. If the euro was to just come straight down though on the back of the non-farm payrolls, then that might mean the dollar yen is going up, in which case I might just then be trading the yen on the long side. So that's the plan. I'll be back about 1:30. So just back, what I'm looking at, we've got the non-farm payrolls figures. We're looking at around about 190,000-ish, somewhere around that mark, either side. But it's the average hourly earnings. If they do they rise at 0.3%? Are they a bit less than that or a bit more? Figures are coming out in a couple of seconds. Here we go. So let's just see where the markets are going to go. And then we're going to see, okay, so euro is going up here. The figures, can we see average earnings? They've come in line. Payrolls coming out 157, so quite a bit lower. So no real surprise that we've had a bit of a spike up here on the euro, but it's not much. It's not much. So the average earnings did come in line at 0.3. The main payroll figures have come in a bit weaker. It was expected that they might come in a bit weaker, but they've come in probably the lower end of that. Estimates were sort of talking about maybe 170 or so at the low end of the range, but they have come in lower than that, 157. So anyway, so they have come in a bit lower. So not really much to do on that basis. So for now, I'll press pause. Okay, just back, and it's now, I see that we're 14.5 minutes into this video recording now. We're calling it a day shortly here in the day trading room. So we haven't done anything with this as there wasn't enough volatility on the news. We have some other plans, but they're not particularly around day trading. So just that dollar CAD from this morning. So nice enough little trade there this morning.
and but nothing here this afternoon. I shall leave you to it. See you next week.